Okay, so when you think of ancient rulers, way back, you probably picture powerful kings, right? Warriors, lawgivers.
Almost exclusively men, yeah. That's the standard image.
Exactly. But what if I told you the first known ruler in history, or at least one of the very earliest we have a name for, wasn't a king at all?
Ah, I think I know where you're going with this.
It was a queen. And her story is, well, it's pretty unexpected. This deep dive is all about Queen Kubaba. She reigned somewhere around 2400 BCE.
In the Sumerian city of Kish.
Yeah.
A really important place back then.
Right. So our mission today is to unpack who she was, how she got there, and, what her story tells us. Let's jump in.
Well, the first thing that makes Kubaba stand out is the Sumerian king list. It's this incredible ancient document listing rulers.
And she's on it?
She is. And crucially, she's listed as the only woman holding the title Lugal.
Lugal. Wait, doesn't that mean king, not queen?
Precisely. Not a queen consort married to a king, not a regent for a son. She ruled as king in her own right.
Yeah.
That's huge for the ancient world.
Wow. Okay, the only woman listed as king, that alone is amazing. But her background, I read something really surprising about that.
Yes, her origins are maybe the most fascinating part. Our sources give her this epithet, the woman tavern keeper who made firm the foundations of Kish.
Hold on. A tavern keeper? Like she brewed beer and ran a tavern?
That's what the text says. A brewer, an innkeeper, who somehow rose to become the supreme ruler of a major city-state.
That completely flips the script on ancient power.
Yeah.
So how? How does a tavern owner become king? Are there stories, legends?
Oh, there are, and they're quite intriguing. One account suggests divine favor.
From the gods?
Specifically from Marduk, a major Mesopotamian god. The story goes that she showed kindness to a fisherman, fed him, and then dedicated his catch to Marduk. And as a reward, the god granted her sovereignty over Kish, kingship.
So a reward for piety, that's one version. Any others?
There is another version. It's a bit more ambiguous. It just states she seized power.
Seized. That sounds more political, maybe even forceful.
It could mean a lot of things, couldn't it? Remarkable political skill, maybe rallying support, or perhaps it was just another way of saying the gods endorsed her unexpected rise. Either way, it points to someone extraordinary.
Definitely not just a passive figure. So was her reign just a blip, or did she leave a lasting mark?
Oh, far more than a blip. Kubaba actually founded a dynasty, the third dynasty of Kish.
She founded a dynasty?
Yes. And significantly, she was succeeded by her son, Puzur-Suen, and then later her grandson, Ur-Zababa.
So the power passed down through her line.
Yeah.
That sounds almost matrilineal.
It has those shades, yes. A transfer of power stemming from a female founder. That's incredibly rare for the period and the region. Really remarkable.
When you put it in perspective, think about famous female rulers, like, say, Hatshepsut in Egypt, or Cleopatra.
Much, much later.
Right. Kubaba was ruling something like 1,500 years before them, over a millennium and a half earlier.
She's an absolute trailblazer, which makes you wonder why she isn't, a household name.
Why isn't she? Good question.
Well, it seems later historical accounts, probably written in periods with even stricter patriarchal views, had some trouble with her.
Trouble how?
They sort of reframed her rule. Some later texts apparently described her reign as an anomaly, almost unnatural. They even connected it with bad omens, like signs of society falling apart.
Seriously? Just because she was a woman ruler?
It looks that way. It really shows how historical narratives can be, massaged or distorted to fit the worldview of the people writing them later. Groundbreaking figures who don't fit the mold can get pushed aside or painted negatively.
But despite that pushback in the records, her influence didn't just vanish, did it?
Not at all. In fact, her legacy endured in a really powerful way. She was eventually deified.
Became a goddess.
Yes. She seems to have evolved into the goddess Kubaba, who was worshipped by the Hittites and might have later influenced the Greco-Roman mother goddess Cybele. From tavern keeper to king to goddess.
That's an incredible trajectory. Her story just completely challenges our neat little boxes about gender and power. Way back then, leadership could come from anywhere.
Absolutely. And it really makes you think, doesn't it? It poses a question for you listening. Who else might be out there in the historical record? What other figures, maybe women, maybe people from unexpected backgrounds, might have had their stories minimized or twisted simply because they didn't fit the expected pattern of their time?
And how might those missing or altered stories still affect how we think about leadership, even today?
Exactly. It's worth considering how much our view of the past is shaped by who got to write the history.
Definitely something to chew on. For those of you who want to dig deeper into Kubaba's story, well, the sources we touched on are a good start.
Yeah, look into translations or discussions of the Sumerian king list.
Right.
Or check out archaeological work on Kish, specifically focusing on that third dynasty she founded.
There's clearly so much more to learn about this truly remarkable, pioneering queen.